Mr. Daniel Boala, our policy analyst and lawyer based in the nation's capital, Abuja, joins us from our Abuja studio. Many thanks, Daniel, for joining us on the program. If you look at it and the way things are structured in the Nigerian political scene, for a region that has produced at least 3 Senate presidents in less than 20 years, can they say that they are marginalized?
Right, thank you for having me. There are 2 sides to this argument, and I would like to say them briefly. There is the political side, which is intended to correct the constitutional problem. Now, there is also the constitutional side. Now, for the political angle, I would say that at every election, it is expected that political parties will reflect people from these regions of the country. It is also expected that by way of strategic planning, that people from every part of the country should make sure there is a spread of the members of the people from that part of the country in all the political parties. I will give you an example. If there was an Igbo senator after the wake of 2015 election, naturally the Senate president would have come from the Southeast. But there was no Igbo senator that emerged in 2015. It is recently.
Just if I may just cut you for a moment, I'm sorry for that, but we need to take a moment on the program. And when we return, more on the marginalization claims from the Southeast and the way forward. Mr. Daniel Boala is still with us on the program. Join us again. Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for staying with us. There has been concerns about the appointments made by President Muhammadu Buhari, especially those relating to security. Let's quickly take a look at some of those appointments now. Quickly, if you look at this appointment, the first set of appointments being made, if you look at it, there is obviously no Southeast persons on some of the major appointments in the kitchen cabinet, security appointments, and all what have you. I guess one of the reasons why, if you look at the regional spread of some of these appointments, it's clear that the Southeast have some reasons for the agitation. Well, my guest, a policy analyst and a lawyer, Daniel Boala, has been talking to us on the program. You were explaining the dimensions to the issue of the marginalization. And for an average Igbo man, you heard what Mr. John Uwodo said that the President General of the Ohanese in the Igbo, we have Northwest with 7 states, the Northeast with 6 states, North Central 6 states, the South with 6 states, but it's only, and the Southwest with 6 states, it's only the Southeast that has 5 states. This is one of the reasons why the Igbos are saying the region is marginalized.
Well, let me say right off the cuff that the marginalization of the Southeast, or specifically the Igbos, is historic, and it stemmed right after independence. So it is not a case that started today. But then, secondly, state creation is constitutionally provided for, and it is the National Assembly that will play that active role. And I believe that there are senators and House of Rep members from the Southeast who are in the National Assembly. Have they been talking? Have they been conversing? Have they been advocating for state creation? That is another thing. Now, but constitutionally, if you look at Section 14, subsection 3 and 4, it is clear that the composition of the government of the Federation and its operation must be carried out in such a way that the principles of federal character should be reflected. And the Constitution makes it clear, for the purpose of promoting national unity and commanding national loyalty. Now, some of the agitations we are having in different parts of the country, in different administration, is as a result of the feeling that they are being left out. And so there is this disloyalty to the nation, and it is constitutionally provided for the cure to this problem. If you look at Section 171, subsection 1, and then right up to 5, when it talks about the powers of the president to make appointments that are within his discretion, if you look at subsection 5, it makes it clear that all of the appointment that the president can do must be consistent with the principles of federal character. Now the question, and flipping to the page that you have earlier shown to the viewers, quite reflecting that the Southeast is not properly represented. I will agree, because they are factual issues. And I will also agree that they have a good case to argue that in this administration there seems to be no proper reflection of the participation of the people from the Southeast. Now, but if you listen to what I said earlier, I'm not giving that as an excuse for the government, but if you look at what I said earlier, I said there is a political solution to curing some of these constitutional issues. If there was active participation from the Southeast in the political affairs of the All Progressive Congress, naturally some of these things would have been balanced, it will have balanced itself. I gave you an example. If there was a senator emerging from the Southeast at the wake of the 2015 election, naturally he would have emerged as the Senate president. If there were quite a number of senators, House of Rep members who participation, because I recall very vividly that when during the building up to the election, part of the campaign propaganda that was canvassed in the Southeast was that APC was an Islamic party. And so there was no support, there was no participation. You see, if you don't know strategy, you are likely to be a victim of tragedy. And in politics, strategy is a fundamental key. I am hoping that in 2019, the Southeast will be able to calculate and play this politics. If there are 10 political parties, make sure that your people are in all the political parties. Don't concentrate in one political party, because if the other political party wins, you are likely going to be left out. Make sure your people are spread. But that is not an excuse for the government not to invoke the provision of the Constitution to ensure that there is an active participation of people from all the geopolitical zones, and especially people from the Southeast.
All right,
so they have a good case.
Mr. Buala, if I may quickly butt in here, some of the agitation that you will see on the streets of some Southeast states, the pro-Biafra agitators were asking, some will say self-determination, some will say, what exactly is the agitation? And here, one will wonder, what could have caused the recent outcry or this recent agitation and the uprising?
Well, first of all, agitation for Biafra did not start with IPOB. I remember Uwazirike also canvassed. And long before that time, there was also an advocacy towards that. The Constitution is clear about expression. Freedom to express your dissent, to express your opinion. Freedom to express that is guaranteed by the Constitution. The IPOB, as it were, by Constitution have the right to express their concern, even to engineer a conversation for the purposes of self-determination, as long as that conversation is within the ambits of the law. Where it becomes a problem is where there is a criminality, where there is a resort to violence, where there are certain acts that are not consistent with the provisions of the Constitution. So not just for the Southeast, any part of the country can genuinely raise concern about their marginalization and whether or not they want to stay by themselves to operate their own governance. So there are issues to the IPOB. There is the extrajudicial dimension that the government is giving to it, which is wrong. In fact, which has given so much popularity to Kanu. Because if the government has not placed so much of these resources on him, he wouldn't have been this popular. But every other day, if you go to the Federal High Court, when his trial is coming up, you will see the police, you will see the armories, you will see machine, as if Nigeria is going into chaos. Meanwhile, it is just one or two or three other persons that are standing trial for offenses that is defined by law. So the government has given so much popularity to the person. But as per agitation, every citizen of the country by Constitution has a right to express himself.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Buala. Just a statement from you, just a few seconds statement before we go now. With what we've seen acting President Oshibajo do in the Niger Delta, do you think that there needs to be some consultation to ease the tension in the Southeast, or to draw some of the Southeast leaders very close to power?
Yes, I think that positives, we can see positives all around us. The visit by the acting president to the South is quite commendable. If you look at the visit to the South, it has quelled a crisis, it has controlled the crisis to an extent. And then the consultation is very, very important, consultation with leaders from the Southeast. And we are also seeing positive from the Southeast we are seeing the defection of members of PDP or other political parties to APC. Probably there is an alignment, there is a strategic repositioning for 2019, which is a welcome development for the purposes of integration. But I commend what the acting president is doing at the moment.
Mr. Daniel Brawler, always a pleasure having you talk to us. But that's how far we can go. We must leave it at that for now. Many thanks for talking to us. And many thanks for being part of the program. Do reconnect with us on Twitter. On Sunday, we might just get talking more on this one. That's how far we can go. On behalf of the team, right here at China Television Headquarters in Lagos, I'm Sean Kumare. Bye for now.